Hi everyone, welcome to another workshop session with today's special guests, Damien and Geoffrey from Capsule Corp Labs in Ternoa. Super excited to welcome the both of you and learn a bit more about obviously what you've been building for the ecosystem and in the ecosystem. You've been making a lot of noise all around, especially in the French ecosystem. So it's a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you for having us today.
The idea today, obviously, is to get to know a bit more about you, about Capsule Corp Ternoa. So I'll just start right off and ask you, what is Capsule Corp? What is Ternoa? What's the difference? And yeah, what are you guys building?
Yes, thanks for your questions. As an introduction, what we can do first is maybe we're going to present ourselves with Geoffrey and get straight into the point to describe you what we are building currently into the Ternoa ecosystem.
Yeah.
Inside Ternoa and Capsule Corp Labs. According to us, I'm going to start it. I'm going to let Geoffrey finish by presenting himself. My name is Damien. I'm the CEO of the labs, so the main developer of the Ternoa chain. And it's been 3 months that I've been joining the team. Before that, I had two lives, we can say. The first one as a strategy consultant and M&A consultant. And after that, I built my own startup from June 2016 to June 2021. And since I've been joining the team at Capsule Corp Labs and Ternoa, I've been working in scaling the business, managing the teams, and currently the teams at the labs are mainly focused on customer acquisition, product, and tech teams. And the main idea is to develop basically the number of projects that are running on the Ternoa chain. And I will let Geoffrey present himself before explaining what is Ternoa today and the Capsule Corp Labs.
Yeah, so my name is, as Damien said, Geoffrey, and I am the CTO of the labs. So my background is a lot of technical things. IT engineer, then I built several companies, tech companies in voice recognition. Then I went into crypto. I co-founded a company called Just Mining with Asher, who is the main influencer in crypto in France. Then I built Descoin, another company in cryptocurrencies. And finally, I joined Ternoa to build this great ecosystem, to build on this great ecosystem. And I am in charge of supervising all the technical aspects of the company.
Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thanks a lot. And so your question was, what is Ternoa ecosystem, especially what is the difference between Ternoa and the labs? I will start and I will let Geoffrey give a bit of a technical layer if you want to add something. But basically, we can say that we are one only ecosystem made out of two different entities, right? Even if it's not really common in the Web2 world, in the Web3 world, we have some other examples of this kind of structure. For example, Ethereum Consensus, Tezos Nomadics, etc. And the main idea is that we developed our own infrastructure technology based on state-of-the-art blockchain technology called Ternoa. And the main idea of Ternoa is just to be an infrastructure company for NFTs based out of layer 0 Polkadot. And on top of that, we've built the labs, so whose full name is Capsule Corp Labs, basically. We use the name labs internally. And whose main mission is to develop the number of use cases, the apps on using our infrastructure, because, you know, at the end of the day, if you have an infrastructure but you have nothing on it, doesn't have any value. So the main idea of what we are doing on a day-to-day basis with Geoffrey, it's to attract new DApps on the infrastructure and try to deliver them. The main idea and the main clients to develop that are going to develop the apps on top of Ternoa ecosystem will be either startups or big corporation, right? We are currently working with big name companies as well as from scratch projects. And we are also developing a couple of our own projects as well. In the only goal to develop the number of projects and the number of transactions on the blockchain, right? Maybe Geoffrey, you want to add something on top, maybe on a more technical layer?
Yeah, so Ternoa is built on a Substrate framework, which is the same framework that was used to build Polkadot and many other blockchain. The idea of using Substrate is that it offers a better performance, better security, and we choose to use that framework because it also allows a very interesting point. It's that it's really easier for people to build on the Substrate chain because you do not have to use smart contract when you want to make a feature. If we did it as the core team, if we develop this feature and allow the developers to build with that, you do not need to deploy a smart contract every time you want to build a marketplace, every time you want to create a collection of NFT, every time you want to make a new feature. If it's available on our chain, you do not have to go to the whole process of making smart contracts, auditing the smart contracts, hiring very expensive developers, Solidity developers, for example. So that's the main focus and the main reasons that we choose Substrate as a framework for a blockchain.
Yeah, because it's really is the huge pain, and even for the big corporations you mentioned, is where do I start? Okay, now I know where to start. Who do I hire? Okay, there aren't a lot of talents available, and they are super expensive, and on each different blockchains with different use cases, different frameworks. It's really a pain. So it's super interesting to have built really with this vision for all the clients that you mentioned that really must talk to them in their daily problematics. Indeed, super interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And if we can sum it up in one word, what we're trying to do into the Web3 ecosystem, it make it accessible, right? Because today, as Geoffrey just said, developing digital Web3 project, it's one, complicated, two, really expensive, right? Because you have 200k Solidity developer in the world, where in comparison you get 20 million JavaScript developer in the world. So it's really rare to have those skills today, and it's as well really complicated to go into the Web3 development ecosystem and try to develop your own project. So what we are trying to do as a Ternoa ecosystem is just making more accessible through the development tool that we developed, as Geoffrey said, the SDK in JavaScript or in Unity, for example, which is the main language for gaming industry, and as well through the labs, just try to help the projects that could be startups or big corporation from the ideation phase to the delivery phase, because we have developed those skills in strategy, product design, and development on the Web3 ecosystem, especially on NFTs, right?
And just a quick question that pops up, but usually for these big brands, when you come up with a solution that is easier than what other frameworks or doing, competitors, etc., usually the counterpart is that you have less flexibility, or it's less, you have less possibilities. Is that the case? Like I compare yourself a bit with the no-code tools. Someone that want to build as a website compared to someone that does it from scratch. You feel that no-code tools have less flexibility, you can do less features and stuff. is it the case or not? So if you
definitely not, but it's a really good question. Actually, of course, when you try to make things simple, it comes with standardization at the end of the day, of course. But what we are trying to do, and our main strategy, is to say, okay, today at the labs, we help projects that could be startups or big corporation on a tailor-made strategy. So we listen them, we try to frame their needs, and in terms of vision, mission, business, as well as in terms of technical part, right? And we develop that project in order to try to find the main features that are used and asked by our clients to make no-code or low-code tools, right? Right behind it. That's basically a main SaaS strategy at the end of the day, but that's what we are trying to do. But to complete what you said in terms of limitation of features, that's the main proposition of what we are saying, what we are doing, sorry, is that we are not a generalist blockchain at the end of the day, such as Ethereum or Tezos. We are just focused on NFTs, NFT technology. And that's the main thing that we are trying to do. We are also helping a project on their token issues, etc. But we are really focusing on this technology to be able to propose all the main features that you can find today, but even more, right? That we are currently working on. And I will maybe let Geoffrey try to explain the different features.
Yeah, and also I will add, the more you add abstraction, the more you have to make choice for the users. So if in the end you have a no-code solution, of course it will depend on how you made this no-code solution, and the higher level the tool is, some choice will be made. But that's why it's interesting with the labs and with Ternoa. We have several layers. We are making no code tools for the people who doesn't want to be involved in any development at all. We have the SDK, which is a lower layer where you can directly interact with the blockchain, but it is still easier to just develop directly with on-chain developers. You can, as a JavaScript developer, just write some JavaScript code, and you will be able easily to have way more flexibility. And then you have the last level, which is developing substrate directly on Rust. But this will allow you to have the more flexibility, but it is also the more expensive and more complex.
And you come back to the initial problem at the end of the day, but super interesting. And just before you come onto the specifics of and the features that we see, basic, advanced, and exclusive ones, maybe a simple question is, why such a focus on NFTs at the end of the day? What is it bringing to the table that it didn't in the last 5 years? So yeah, why NFTs at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's hard to answer to this question, why NFTs, but because actually you have to understand that the vision, our conviction in this world is to say that the world will be multi-chain. Why? Even if today 80% of the market is in the end of Ethereum, you have more and more blockchain that are coming, that are pop up to every day today. And so the only thing that you can do, it's make the thing easier for the next wave of adoption, right? So we've chosen the NFTs. Why? Because basically at the end of the day, and the beginning of the story, the main idea was the idea of Michael, which is the CEO and founder of Ternoa, to develop the apps. But while he was trying to develop the app he wanted to develop, that is basically now one of our main features in terms of exclusive features named Capsule. He just find out that it was really complicated and even nearly impossible to do it on the Generalis blockchain. So that was the main idea. And from the start, he's starting to develop his own infrastructure to make it things easy. Because today, the main problem that we have in Web3 is that we're making Web3 product for Web3 communities. But if we want to make adoption, we need to make it more easily accessible to the other people. And that's what we're trying to do. We've chosen NFT because it comes from this use case at the beginning, but we developed across the years and the months this expertise in how you can use an NFT. And basically NFT you can use for a lot of use cases, different use cases that you can have, and we're gonna show you just later on with the project we are working on today.
And it's extremely interesting to see all the features, etc. Because I mean, everyone feels in the Web3 ecosystem that we are just, you know, on the really like the first layer of what the NFT utility and usage will be like, basically. From what we see in the several NFT projects, etc. Usually it's really like, I'll say, basic usage of what the NFT can offer. So it's super interesting for the companies, the members that see us on Metacircle to see, yeah, here is actually the really like everything that is doable easily through what you guys have built. That is awesome, and have a better vision of all the application that you can actually have. So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Geoffrey, let's go on to the application and what have been developed into the ecosystem. I think you can explain to the Metacircle community what we have done so far.
You mean in terms of feature or project?
Yes, feature for the start, and we're gonna go to the project just after that. So
about the basic feature, it is in our opinion the minimal thing we have to handle to have an NFT project. So this is be able to mint an NFT and a collection, being able to transfer the NFT, burning them, delegate them. So delegate means, okay, I'm lending you for free, let's say it like that, to someone, but this someone who isn't able to burn it, transfer it, or things like that. Having royalties on the NFT. These are the basics, because only with that you can do thousands of different applications just with that.
And we can say that these basic features are for now the one that are used on the market. And what we have been working on is much more the advanced, and we have been working on the basic features of course, but
the basic features you have almost like 90% of the.
We have put some effort on the advanced and the exclusive features that Geoffrey you're gonna present, and that how we just pump the NFT the NFT to the next stage, right?
Yeah, because basic features is actually 90% of what everyone is doing as of today. So
exactly,
it's basic, but it's actually the market practice is there
exactly
completely. But yeah, go on. Sorry, Geoffrey.
Then we have the advanced feature, which again, in our opinion, should make the next generation of DApp coming, because when you provide with better and advanced feature, you can make advanced game, advanced application, decentralized application. So I see there is just one feature missing. It is the marketplace, which can be between basic feature and advanced feature, but we also have the marketplace and link feature, which is really useful, but we will see that in a moment. So in the advanced feature, we have several things like being able to share royalty, being able to have auction, for example, on the marketplace, having a soul bond token. So soul bond you can transfer it once and then you cannot transfer it anymore. Lend and borrow NFTs, merge NFTs. There is several different advanced features. We will not go into details about all of them. But yeah, the goal is to give more flexibility, more use cases for the developers, and in order to have new and advanced decentralized applications. About them, so we are developing them currently. Some of them are already deployed. We have a roadmap on our website on ternoa.com, which says, okay, we are advancing with different phases. We call that phases. And in each phases, we are releasing some of these advanced features. So you can check that on the Ternoa website if you want to check where we are now. Right now we are the third phase, which has been deployed on AlphaNet, our test network, last week, and should be soon be deployed on the mainnet. And then after the advanced features, we can find the exclusive feature to Ternoa, the main important one, because you can't find them anywhere else on any other blockchain. And that is really important mainly because the infrastructure is not ready on the other blockchain, or because it's harder to make them available on the other blockchain. One of these features is the secret content. Basically, it is you can have an NFT with two sides. One side that is public to everyone, and one side that is only private, only visible to the owner of the NFTs. This works with some advanced encryption, so that it works with the private key and public key, just like a wallet works. And this is one of the exclusive features of Ternoa we are currently building, which are available on one of our testnet, which we made the primitive version of it to be able to say, okay, we can do it. Now we have to make it production ready. So we are currently building it to make it available on AlphaNet and mainnet. And from this same feature, we will develop also the time capsule, which relies a bit on the same principles and concepts of security, to be able to store data in what we call a time capsule, which basically is an NFT. And then you will be able to send this time capsule with different protocol and to someone and say, okay, I want this capsule to be secured on the blockchain and be sent to someone in 20 years or more with different triggers.
And do you have, because those two features are super interesting, and maybe for the people that are watching us, do you have the use cases that you maybe have imagined, or maybe some that you have already worked on with the clients? Maybe you cannot disclose who, but yeah, the use cases that would be imaginable for those kinds of features.
Yeah, Geoffrey, I think we can talk about. Sorry, here. Sorry, we can talk about maybe one of the project that in which we plan to use the time capsule for the notaire. Maybe it's a good example to tell to the Metacircle community. I will begin and I will let you explain a bit more in the technicalities of the project. But basically, what we can do. What we are doing with the notaire is pretty simple to understand, because everybody is doing it on a day-to-day basis. Today, when you have, for example, a desk transmission of data, for example, I don't know, you have a legacy from your father because your father passed away, and in a couple of years, and you want to make what we call a testament in French, but I don't know whether in English, but it doesn't matter. Actually, it could be. Today it's done through notaire, right? Of course, and it's stored somewhere. And sometimes you forget it, and you never, or if you didn't give the document to a notaire, you never know where it is, and so it's you have a highly risk to do not have it at the right moment when things are coming, you know. But what we can do through the time capsule is just say. We make these documents into this time capsule, and he's released it through a desk protocol made out of an oracle, basically, to the right person. And the person that get the legacy from the time capsule can open it only if we get the information through the oracle, or if the people choose to make it available if you have a decision made by other people, right? If you have two or three trusted people that can say that's a good person we can deliver it. And that's mainly one of the main use case that we can use time capsule, but you can do it on a retail basis or through the right process with notaire and everything. But I think it's a good way to visualize how we can use this time capsule and protocols through times thanks to NFTs technology. Maybe Geoffrey, you want to add something on this use case specifically?
But basically, you summed it up quite well. Yeah, this is the one use case of the time capsule. One is totally usable by the user. The user can create a capsule and define the transmission protocol that he wants to use to transmit his data. Or we have this use case with companies like the notaries, which are the legally, because you can make, as a user, you can make a time capsule, but legally you do not have the right to put something that has value. You cannot put your private key in this capsule, because you have to go through the notaries, and depending on your country, you have to pay taxes on that. So, so this is the responsibility of the user, how they want to use the time capsule. But going with the notaries, handle all these legal parts. So they will still do their job as handling the transmission of the assets of someone to another one, but we are offering them a new way of doing it, a more simple and secure way of doing it, using the time capsule.
So it's a rather than obviously the usual, intuition that you might have when there is a disruptive technology, is that you say, okay, they are going to replace the Notaire de France. Basically, you are giving them a useful tool for them to use, and rather than just
yeah, it's exactly the same thing as marketing, for example. We are currently developing more and more tools to automate things in marketing, for example. But we can't replace people in marketing. We just are making the tool better and better to make a human-to-machine process better than a human-to-human process better. And that's exactly the same with Notaire, and they understood it, and I find it really useful, and we're currently in discussion to develop that. And it will be the case of other type of jobs at the end of the day. It's just that the jobs won't, I think that the jobs won't disappear. Some of them will, but most of the jobs won't disappear. They will have to readapt using new tools, right, at the end of the day.
Yeah. And so I don't know, we talked about, obviously, so the several use cases. I don't know if you had your slide also before that, or we can stick to this one.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we can go through the ecosystem that we built on Ternoa, maybe to give a proper vision of what we are doing, because we said that we are helping projects from the ideation stage to delivery stage. But what it means really, it means that we've developed our own ecosystem as well, not only on technology, but also on network, right? And we are able to, if we can't do it on ourselves because we are specialized in making the infrastructure and making the technical development of the apps, but we can help also projects to kickstart. We can help the brands or the startup to kickstart that project, right? Through the network that we've been building around financial, for example, for fundraising, could be marketing with key opinion leaders. As Geoffrey said, he worked with Asher, and Asher is a really good, is part of the Ternoa ecosystem, a really good friend of our founders, for example. Institutionals in terms of strategy, or even design and marketing. So we can basically help, and we're trying to give what we call superpowers to the builders at the end of the day. Because for us, one thing that we're trying to tackle in terms of problems within the Ternoa ecosystem is just to say that we are currently speaking in our current road about inclusivity, discrimination, etc. And for us, the main discrimination, the main problem we get today, it's the difference between building something, right? If you take a look at the profile that startup or company builders have, it's already all the time the same type of profiles, and we are making it more and more possible for anybody to build something through the technology and the network. That basically what we are trying to do.
And just bouncing on the ecosystem right here in what you just said. And also because I saw that you guys had a lot of partnerships with the gaming industry. How does Ternoa's is involved? I see that you have partners with BEM Builders, Exclusible, with the metaverse. Is it through the gaming industry? What is your vision for Ternoa's on it, and how do you want, obviously, to
yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, for us, the metaverse is a part of the whole Web3 ecosystem, meaning that metaverse is the basic philosophy of metaverse is what we call UGC, user-generated content, right? So meaning that the metaverse for us is a new kind of interface, right? Where you can put things and you can create things, but to create things, you need to have builders, right? So that's where we are. So for us, where we are more located on the low layer of it, we can say the plomberie in French, making the pipes. The metaverse is making it accessible to the world, right? So what we are trying to do when we are working on projects is saying to our builders that you can deploy those projects on many channels, and the metaverse is a new one that will have a huge impact that has a huge impact today, but will have a more huge impact tomorrow. And that's mainly how we conceive the metaverse. We are just locating on the two different layers. We are more into the tech side of the business and the building side of the business. Metaverse will make it accessible for the consumption, right?
And so yeah, in the following to this question, how are you involved with the gaming industry? Because I see that you have so many partnerships in all of, here is on the slide, it's easier to see. Obviously NFTs are a great use cases for the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Is that the only reason? What's the global strategy on the gaming industry for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think to answer properly to this question, we just have to take a look at the market, right? The market of what is the NFT market today? And the NFT market today, when you're taking a look at USD or in terms of transaction volume, the top three of industries are making 75% of the market, right? And these top three industries are gaming, entertainment, meaning sports, movies, and musics, and collectibles. That's mainly what we have in the market. And when you take a look in terms of transaction volume, 50% of the market is only gaming. So today, the main industry that consume NFT is gaming. That's the main reason why we have a lot of clients into the gaming industries, because the industry is really more mature compared to the others. Today we have two kind of clients into these industries. We have the project that we developed from scratch, right? Through different ways. So it could be startups that we are working directly together, or through the new hackathon that we developed with the blocks, and that is currently running, where we had more than 200 applications on it. And we have also big corporates, big startup studios, etc., that we are working with on their gaming portfolios, right? So that's the relationship that we have with gaming industries. It's really close because it's the main client in terms of industry, and we are you have to understand it. At the end of the day, we are in a winner-take-all market at the end of the day. Because if you take a look into the gaming industries, you have to see that mainly the top 10 games in the industry make more or less 70% of the market, right? So you have big blockbusters, and in the main game of without the plate of words, but the main idea of it is to find the next blockbusters. So to find the next blockbusters, you need to iterate, right? And to work with some startups or some studios, right? And that's what we are trying to do.
And so regarding this industry and obviously the Web3 turn that this industry has taken for some, is there, and it's related to your fundraising and your token, is there an idea, vision of using for those games, I don't know, partners or the Caps token, which is obviously your token, or can you maybe walk us through the utility of this token that you've done for, obviously I think it's related to Ternoa only and in the builder?
Yeah. We can give you some example, and I will let Geoffrey also add something if you want to. The Caps token, the main utility is that the native token of the chain. There is no utility in the Caps token except how you use the Caps token, right? So to give you an example, what we are trying to do, we are working with Tap Nation currently. Tap Nation is one of the main game studio in terms of casual games on mobile, right? And we integrate the usage of the caps inside their games to reward the players, so that we can definitely do use cases like that. But sometimes we create the own tokens for games that is not related to caps as well, because the games the games want to be to have some sovereignty on their tokenomics. So we are really trying to find and to discuss with our clients in a tailor-made basis, in order to understand what are the use cases that they are facing today, and how we can respond it by making the right technology in front of their needs. Sometimes it will be with our own token or technology that we developed internally in low-code or no-code tools. Sometimes it will be custom, because today we are currently working on making the product ecosystem and Galaxy more and more complete. So I will say that we are pretty flexible on that. Maybe Geoffrey, you want to add something on the caps usage, because you have so many cases that you've been working on, but that will be my main explanation on that.
Yeah, it's a bit like, in this case, we can compare it with ETH, because it is a token used mainly for paying the gas fees and making the blockchain works, basically. Then the users will define the use case, the utility of the other utilities of the caps, because, for example, in the marketplace, you are paying when you buy an NFT, you buy it with caps, for example, and you list it with a caps price. Same thing if you want to borrow it. That's the same thing. You can use it as a way of making financial transactions. This is a good example for Tap Nation, because Tap Nation, I'm not sure if I can disclose that yet. But yeah, they are using the caps in a way in their games, which has another types of utility. I'm not sure if I can say more than that.
Okay. So don't don't want to get you into troubles.
So yeah, basically the utility will be defined by what the user wants to make with the caps, and it is mainly related to using it as a gas means, or as a kind of different way of transactions, financial transactions, using the caps to define and to exchange some values.
And if I'm not mistaken, you have also managed to attract projects that were on other chains and that switched to Ternoa, right? From what I saw with on your website through BabbleX, the MMA PvP game, I think was on the Polygon at first, no, or on other chains?
There was Mafia Foot, which was on the Binance Smart Chain, which came on our blockchain.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically, there are many NFT projects that did their launch on bigger blockchain in terms of users, and then found out that okay, I can do what I want with my games afterwards, because that's also the main one important thing about Ternoa. We are an NFT blockchain. What does that mean? That means we want to have enhanced NFTs. We just do not want to have just NFT. We want NFT with utility. And when you are on other chain, when you want to add this utility, and when you find out it isn't that easy to make it because the infrastructure doesn't allow it, or if you want to make it, it will cost hundreds of thousands of dollars just in hiring the right people to make the smart contracts.
Yeah.
People are like, okay, maybe it was not the right choice to use this blockchain, and they are checking what other blockchain they can use to have an easier and cheapest way to make it. And when they find Ternoa, okay, everything is easy, affordable. You do not have to hire high-paying jobs because it is on a developing language that is very rare. So yeah, basically that's the main point.
And would you have maybe a visual showing the difference between what is it to develop on Ternoa, and I think you mentioned that earlier before our call, maybe so that people can see how much lines of codes it transforms for a developer.
Yeah, sure. Damien, did you want to show another slide, or do I just?
No, yeah. we can jump into the demo of what it costs in terms of time and complexity to code on chain compared to what we are doing currently. So go take the stage, Geoffrey.
Okay, I'm taking over. So do you see my screen?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay. So this is an example of a smart contract on Ethereum or any EVM-based chain to create a marketplace. So you can see the amount of clients it takes. It takes some time. It takes a Solidity developer to make it, and it is just to make a marketplace on chain. So now I will show you what it takes to do the same thing on Ternoa. So you can see the difference. The only thing you have is to download the SDK. The SDK is an NPM package, so it's a bit of technical term, but it is the package, the library we made for the SDK. So you can find it here. You just have to type Ternoa.js NPM on Google, and you will find it really easy. And then that's all. You just have to connect to the right network. You can select the mainnet or the AlphaNet if you want to do test before, and then you just have to create the marketplace. So this is just an example. Now let's say another thing. Now you have created your marketplace on Ethereum. That's great. Now you have to audit it because it has been made by one of your developers, let's say one of your Solidity developer, but there may be bugs in it. So to be sure that everything is right, you will audit it, which costs it's several thousand, it's from $10,000 from a simple NFT drop contract to several tens of thousands for more complex contracts. And if you want to do 2 marketplaces, you will have to do 2 audits. And it can cost a lot in the end. And if you want to make your NFT your NFT contract, then it's another smart contract, and again and again and again for all of your features you want to build. So if it's something simple, okay, it can cost you a few tens of thousands bucks. But if you want a middle to big project, it is in the hundreds of thousands bucks easily. And now with Ternoa, you can do it really easily. When you create a marketplace, you do not have to create a smart contract. It is called palettes in Substrate. These are native features which are developed by the Ternoa core team. These features have been audited. So the audit has already been made. Now you can use it. You can use this function, create marketplace. It has been audited. You want to create one marketplace, you do not have to audit it. You want to create 1,000 marketplace, you do not have to audit any of them. It's already been audited. And it works exactly the same. If you want to create a collection, create NFTs, landing NFTs, okay, it will just be one more function. I will just have, let's say I want to create an NFT, it will be one more line. I want to create an NFT here, it will be 2,000 lines more, and another contract to deploy, and another audit to make. So yeah, basically that's one of the main difference of how easy and how expensive, how easy it is on Ternoa and how expensive it is on EVM blockchain.
And bouncing then on what you just said, because it's such a treasure. I mean, this SDK obviously, and so it seems like so useful. I'll actually come back to my first question on this video when you started introducing yourself. So who is then Ternoa Capsule Corp? Can you maybe walk us through the number of people in your team, how you want to scale? Because it's such a promise. I mean, it's the value you bring is really immense. And who are the minds behind it, and number of people, and how do you want to maybe hire more people with your recent fundraising, etc.?
Yeah, I can jump on this one. Currently, the ecosystem, so Ternoa and the labs, is made out of 60 people, right? We can say that we have around 20 to 25 people on the chain, and the rest on the labs. Labs is composed mainly out of technical profile, even if we are currently developing the sales and marketing side of it. We are currently, in a way, if you are interested, you can go to our team Taylor. There are a bunch of applications and job desks that you can apply for. And the main idea and the main step in order to scale our business is just to, from now, to give you a bit of numbers, we delivered around 7 projects. We are currently delivering, so meaning that we are working on it and we already sold the project, 20 of them, and we have 30 in the sales backlog that we are currently working on to integrate into our chain. So it's quite a lot for the number of people that we have. But the main idea is that we add this project only in inbound, so meaning that the people came to us through word of mouth or our networks, right? So we are currently developing the outbound strategy, meaning that we are going to target into the entertainment industry, meaning gaming industries, movies and music and sports, and to speak to big and small corporates and try to help them to think about their Web3 strategy around NFTs. And that will be our main focus in terms of customer acquisition, we're going to say. And we are currently also trying to structure our company in terms of delivery, because when you pass from a couple of projects to more than 20 to 30 projects, is not the same things as you can the same way of delivering it. So we are currently doing in 2 ways. We are developing from 3 ways, we can say. We are developing our main tool to make more and more plug and play no-code tools for people that they can use it in a cheap way. Second, we are dedicating our technical resources on custom projects with high complexity or high value added with our own resources, internally resources. And we are currently building a partner program where we want to integrate service partner, meaning freelance or agencies to help us to develop, where we will manage the project management and then we'll manage the building part, right? In order to increase our pipe. And that's mainly the strategy.
Because at the end of the day, now obviously your main target is you have a great product and that you keep on building. Now it's all about the number of users and the number of partners that you can make to show that actually, hey, look, we have a great product. It's super easy to use. And yeah, obviously that's the
definitely
that's your next steps, bringing as many people as possible. And so you mentioned the partnerships. Obviously you have made a lot of noise, and maybe you actually told it in your last response, but what is really the vision for onboarding as many people as possible so that Ternoa becomes really like this, I mean, one of the top best blockchain to use with such great tools?
Yeah, definitely. But the partnership will be really strategic to us. We didn't have a lot before. We've worked with a couple of the people, and we've put a focus on the last months, and we will do it even more in the coming months, right? What we want to do, we want to divide in two kinds of partners that we can have. What we call the service partners, meaning that, as I told just before, we can basically help people to build their NFT project from the ideation to the delivery phase. So we are splitting with the competencies and the jobs that you need to make that, and we try to develop our pool of partners in each job. So strategy, product, design, and tech mainly. Okay. So we are currently building the program partners around it, because you need a model, you need a pattern to work with the people. So we are interviewing a lot of different people, to understand price, technology that they are working on, etc., to build the pool. And we have also what we call the business partners, meaning mainly the ambassadors, right? That will bring us some leads at the end of the day. And we are currently working also on a model, on a program. And service partners could be business partners at the end of the day also, and bring us mainly some clients and leads. The main architecture of the program, to give you a bit of insight of the program partners, is really simple. It's based out of what we can find in the machine learning industries, for example, or big CRM industries, big technical license, where for €1 of product, you can basically build between 5 and 7 euros of services. And that's mainly what we are doing. And that's the main reason why people will come to build on our infrastructure. That, and the second thing is that the margin compared to what you can find in other blockchain will be much higher. Why? Because at the end of the day, the cost of production it's lower because of the JavaScript developer. So it's a win-win situation.
No, it's super interesting, and thank you very much for showing us, the whole vision, the whole aspect of what you guys are building. I see that we are reaching the time right now, but thank you very much. I'm sure the Metacircle members will really appreciate having this kind of deep dive and understand better what you guys are building. All of the information will be obviously available for Ternoa, Capsule Corp, and so that anyone can reach out to you for questions, or even in order to build. That's the idea also of Metacircle, is to create synergies between all of the members. So yeah, thank you very much. If you have some few words that you would like maybe to end the conversation to, or
I will start and we'll let Geoffrey finish. But thanks a lot for having us, and we are really pleased to have this conversation and to be part of the Metacircle community. And we hope that do not hesitate if you are interested to work with Ternoa as a partner or for Ternoa. Do not hesitate. You have our team Taylor online. And thanks again for all the work you do on the Web3 ecosystem.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, and I thank you for the invitation. And if you have any technical question or need about resources, do not hesitate to ask us, and we will be glad to show you the way.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time, Damien and Geoffrey. And
thanks, Benjamin.
Yeah, see you soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.